Volunteers take care of business. They beat South Florida by a final score of 99-66, falling just 1 point shy of the century mark as Tennessee gets 12 players total in the game, Tone. 10 of them score, and J.P. Estrella had a special, what I would consider to be a special performance, as he led all scorers with 23 points on 11 of 14 made field goals and collected 10 rebounds for Tennessee. He led the team in points.
Yep.
He led the team in rebounds, and Gillespie led the team in assists with 7 as Tennessee wins 99-66.
And it's like what, and the whole thing, Brian, is what do you want to accomplish from these games, right? What do you want to get from these games? And for the Vols tonight, kind of a sleepy effort to begin the game. Not a very good team in here. It's a team that out-rebounded Florida by 40 the other day.
Florida out-rebounded them by 40.
Or Florida out-rebounded them.
Tennessee out-rebounded them 52-24.
And Tennessee beat them up on the glass as well. They just don't have much size.
No, and you could see early Estrella could do whatever he wanted. And the game swung sort of. It was 32-30 with about 6.5 to go in the first half.
Yep.
Tennessee outscored them 15-0 to close out the first half. And South Florida went, I think, almost 7 minutes, maybe more so, without a point, as the lead got stretched above 15 to above 20, and it never got any closer than that the rest of the way on their way to a 33-point win.
So now you start looking at this team, Brian, you say, okay, what'd you get out of that tonight? Did you get better? They're going to get a lot of things on tape they're going to have to teach from in this game because, I watch that game and I see a lot of things on the defensive end they're going to have to clean up. A lot of what North Florida was doing early in the game are things that, Barnes lives for that stuff, getting that sort of stuff on film. I just don't know when you're a team of Tennessee's timber, and I realize you have to play these games, Bry. I think we all kind of realize that. I just don't know at some point what you get out of these things. You know what I mean?
You get to develop your team. You get to develop some depth. You get to see a lot of players play. I think 12 total played, and all of them scored except Masamba, who they didn't expect to get much out of. I doubt we see him much when the regular tougher play begins, but I think that's what they kind of expected from him. They didn't expect him to be much right away.
Yeah, I just kind of wonder, though, like Tennessee just looked kind of bored, sort of uninterested tonight, Bry. Just kind of a tough watch, Bry.
Well, it's the third straight game where they played, and the schedule set up kind of weird because they've got 5 of these in a row. Usually they sort of spread these games out a little bit evenly over the 2 months, but they're playing 5 of their 7 right in a row to start.
Yes.
And then they're going to go through sort of a gauntlet where they've got the game sort of spread out, but they're going to play maybe 2 or 3 right in a row in Vegas. So and then I think they're going to close the non-league part of their schedule playing a couple more bye games. So it's sort of you've got all the bye games, and then you've got all the tougher games, and then you've got a couple bye games to begin conference play to start going into conference play.
Yeah, and look, you need these games, but man, they're just a tough watch. And I realize that, I just like tonight's line, Brian, was what, 40?
Like around 39, 40 points. 41 maybe. But
wow.
They came close in the end. They came, 33? I think they were up 35 maybe at the end. So it's hard to get. I would never, ever screw around with a game like that, betting-wise. No way.
No, but Tennessee, 2 of their first 3 games, in years past, these were an absolute given that Barnes would hammer people in these spots.
They did tonight, but the line was 41.
Well, what I mean is they would hammer the line. Because you want to get the line, but they right now aren't together enough to go out and beat somebody by 40 points, even that team.
You win by 33, you ought to be pretty pleased. If it's like a 20-point win, I get you. But
they're not going to be happy because it's going to knock them down according to the numbers, Bry. That's not going to be good enough for the computers and the way they set up all these models. And I'm just telling you, that's how it's done. It's not done on you beat somebody badly. It's done on – it's almost like in golf when you're playing your handicap. And that's sort of what we see.
They're going to
So,
harp on the start and how, well, if they started better,
yeah.
they would have done what they wanted to do. But 865-200-5402 is the number to call in on.
How about my boy Estrella, Bry? Is he any good?
I'd say he's healthy. You think he's healthy enough?
Hey, listen. I hold my breath for him because if his body cooperates, he could be literally one of their 3 best players pretty easily.
It cooperated tonight.
Yeah.
And other scores, Gillespie had 21. He sort of had a slow start, but came on to lead the second leading scorer. And then Nate Ament had 19 points on 6 of 16 shooting.
Yep.
And Cade Phillips had 9. Tennessee's got a special front court, I think. They look very Florida-esque from last year.
Ament, what I love about Ament, Bry, is he seems to me to be a guy that wants to make the extra pass. He's a looks like a very unselfish, pretty good player, man. I mean, it's already just a very accomplished kid. Tonight he shot 6 3-balls. He only made 1, so he wasn't great from the field. But he had 5 assists in the game. He could have had a couple more assists. Guys aren't used to getting balls the way he distributes them. And Brian, we only have 1 call on hold, and it's Dave. Do we want to get some more calls in, Brian, or do we just want to get off if it's only?
Before we go to Dave, I wanted to make a point. I think sometimes
let's take a timeout before we go to
Ament is too unselfish.
Yeah.
It did cost him on a possession where he should have just gone up and scored himself, but he tried to pass it and turned it over in the second half.
Estrella continues to be the guy, though. He had 23 tonight. He had 10 boards. He continues to be extremely active all over the place, Brian. Again, when you're playing a team of the size deficit that these guys have, at the end of the day, I know what you get out of it. I know you get court time out of it. I just don't know how you keep your kids engaged and how you keep them interested. It seems like a very difficult task. But they've got a lot of pieces and a lot of parts to play with here in a game where Bishop Boswell, with the lower leg injury, was out.
Yep.
So
that would have been 13 played total.
Yeah, that would have been wild.
So take a break, and we'll be back.
Dave.
You want to go to Dave?
No. Take a break.
Take a break.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
There you go. We'll get you back to the action here momentarily on Garza Law, Tennessee Basketball Overtime, presented by Marcos Garza and your Garza Law Firm online at garzalaw.com. Your go-to law firm, whether it's DUI defense, criminal defense, personal injury, Social Security, disability, or any of a myriad of subjects. When you run afoul or when you need a great lawyer, you don't want to trust just anyone. You need the Garza Law Firm, treating East Tennesseans, hundreds and hundreds strong, like family, the most trusted and competent folks in the biz. Available 24/7 at garzalaw.com. Shout out to our friends at T3 Vodka. Score a T3 every time this basketball season with Tennessee's premium vodka, handcrafted with passion and precision, and a whole lot of volunteer state love. Right in the majesty of the Great Smoky Mountains, filtered 10 times, 80 proof, delivering a smoothness unmatched, a dedication to excellence. You got to try it and see why T3 is a 5-time gold medal winning vodka, 2025 SITS Consumer Choice Medal winner. Whether you're sipping it neat, on the rocks, or mixing your favorite cocktail, T3 is the way to go. Score a T3 every time with T3 Vodka, distributed by Athens Distributing Company. Shout out to Waterside Contracting. Maybe you have a dream about buying some land. My friends at Waterside will take incredible care of you. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott. Hundreds in our area. Whether it's custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. Check out the website, watersidecontractingllc.com. And when it's time for a fresh coat, you better run, don't walk, to Walker's Painting. Interior and exterior, Walker's Painting, making it beautiful since 1999 all across your Knoxville area. New construction repaints and commercial with and residential as well. Free estimates available. Mention you heard about it right here on Garza Law, Tennessee Basketball Overtime. 10% off your first job. Let's go. Run, don't walk to Walker's Painting, 865-688-1410. Now we get you back to the action here on Garza Law, Tennessee Basketball Overtime.
Just in the nick of time, as Brian and Tony are back with you on this edition of the Garza Law Firm Basketball OT. Tennessee beats North Florida 99-66. They've won 3 straight to start the season. They're 3-0, and they'll play Rice at 8:30 on Monday night. At 8:30 tip, that is on the regular SEC network. So 8:30, a little later, but it gets on TV, so there's the trade-off. Let's go to our first call, and let's get Tone.
Bri, do you want to take that Negative? Let's take Negative first.
All right.
So let him set the tone.
Negative, welcome in.
Get to yell and scream at him.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Dave.
Well, it's really obvious after tonight that the best 2 guard on that roster didn't play tonight.
Oh, boy.
And he's the best perimeter defender on your team.
Oh, boy.
And I guarantee you he will play 30 minutes a night. He won't have a choice because I'm going to tell you something, 77 and 35, and even Gillespie.
He might be right.
Gillespie's a horrible defensive player.
He might be right, Bri.
Those guys cannot defend.
No.
And he can defend.
Those guys weren't defending tonight.
Barnes will not put up with it. He'll put his best defender out there.
I don't know, Dave. The defense tonight was not acceptable, to your point. It just was not acceptable.
Even though you're willing to sacrifice a lot of offense if Boswell has to play
Boswell's
more.
a Division II offensive player. That's the trade you're going to make. They didn't want to do this, but
Barnes will happily make it. Because he cannot stand watching.
He's going to watch that tape.
Tonight.
That's going to drive him crazy. And then, to make matters worse tonight, Dave, you had Berg come out, and he turns the ball over on their first possession, and he's right out of the game. I mean, they're not going – I don't know what this guy's doing, but if he's trying to get on Barnes' good side, tonight was not the way to do it for him. Not a great effort from that kid.
And we're playing subpar competition.
Oh, it's awful.
And we've only covered 1 of 3 games.
That's correct.
And I'm going to harp on it again. I know you think Ament just is so great. He's not. He's good for a freshman, but he's a low-efficiency player, and this is, again, he's right now, after 3 games, below 30% from three-point land,
Dave,
below 40% from the field.
They're not playing anybody, Dave. Come on, man. He's not even engaged. They're not even running.
Let me tell you something.
Dave, they're not even running an offense. Dave, they're not even running.
SEC play, in league play,
Dave,
it's not going to get any better.
Dave, they're not even running an offense, man.
Nah,
what are you talking about?
Really?
They're not running plays. I mean, they're not doing what they're going to do in league play,
so you're not going to start running plays until you get to Houston?
Well, Dave, how much structure?
And then they won't know what to do when they.
Dave, how much structure did you see out there tonight?
No, I saw a really bad basketball team for the first 10 minutes of that game.
Okay.
I thought
they were asleep.
I saw that North Florida team go ahead 30-28 within the first 10 minutes of the game.
Mm-hmm.
They had just over past 10 minutes, they had 30 points.
Yeah, you're right. I'm not going to argue with you on the defensive effort.
They could have put 80 up tonight if they'd hit a few shots. They didn't score the rest of the half.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't because our defense. It's because they just missed shots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it wasn't very good.
I did think they played harder on the defensive end, but they did give them. I think they played. It was some of their shots were late shot clock possessions where they had a wide open 3 because of they caught them out of rotation a little bit and they just missed it.
Bri, we were not good tonight on defense, and when he looks at that tape, just knowing how they do things over there, he is going to freak out on them when they look at that tape. That first half defense, Dave's not lying. That was some unacceptable defensive play from Tennessee tonight.
Dave, what else you got?
Well, I want you to look just at Gillespie, okay?
Mm-hmm.
He's a pretty good offensive player. I'll give him that. He can score. All right. But that's all he can do. He's not a good point guard. He's not a leader. I don't see any leadership at all from him.
He led a team to the Sweet 16 out of nowhere last year, Dave. Come on,
well,
man. What do you mean he's not a leader?
Are you seeing a leader out there on the floor?
Dave,
are you seeing a guy that's going in there and getting them all together?
Dave,
no.
Dave, they're
She's an
not.
individual.
Dave, they're not playing anybody.
Right. Well, and another thing is he's got such slow. He gets picked off so easy trying to fight off screens. I mean, my gosh, ZZ could go through that like they couldn't pick him off like that. And this Gillespie kid's a bigger kid. He's slow. He's got slow feet.
Oh, Dave.
I'm just telling you, Tony, and I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna make a bet right now to you, right, with the whole crew. I'm talking about you and Brian and all of them, and Bino, the whole crew, right? The whole crew. If Tennessee is above 500 in the SEC, I'm taking you all out to eat down there on the river.
Down at Calhoun's, Dave. I want to meet you, Dave.
It'll be nice to meet you, Dave.
Yep.
How's that?
And if
Bring your license
Tennessee
plate.
does not get to 20, if Tennessee doesn't get there, you all got to take
you and your
Sheila
family.
and I to
Yeah,
dinner.
that's it. You're Sheila. Yep. Nega Sheila and Nega Dave. Listen, I'll tell you this, Dave. Bino will pay for that dinner. And happily, Bino will happily, and all the drinks you can drink.
Dixie will get the tip.
Get the finest steaks. Yep. Coach Fulmer will pick up the tip. It'll be unbelievable.
There's just so many. I mean, that first 10, 11 minutes of that game, I just did not. That's
Dave.
probably the worst basketball I've seen, Barnes.
Did you turn it off, Dave?
No, it was awful. He is right, Brian. They're going to freak out when they look at the tape tomorrow because that's not Rick Barnes' program. Like, Brian's in here like they won by 33. No. They wake up in the morning in these games knowing that they're going to cover the number. Everything that in Rick Barnes' program since he's gotten here has been to take these teams and take them to the woodshed and beat the number. That's how you stay relevant in those computer rankings. That's how you rise in the computer rankings. So it isn't for lack of want to, but right now they're just an incomplete team that's going to just find their way. And, you know, I'm almost inclined, Brian, in any of these games, when you see them as a 40-point favorite, to just play the other side. I would be almost inclined to do that.
Yeah, the 40 is really high.
Tony, they missed Boswell tonight.
Oh,
it was obvious in their defense.
You get no argument from me. The board guy Berg is concerning, and the other guys that they're putting out there just kind of aren't there yet. We'll see what happens.
Jalen Carey was the last one to check in. Thanks, Dave.
Jalen Carey, Brian. What's beyond buried? Because that's where he is. Carried,
and that was
buried.
Against North Florida. So let's go make a transition to Dave and Ackworth. Dave and Ackworth, welcome in.
Dave could come to our dinner.
Hey, I always love following Nega Dave, the man who gives Dave a bad name. I'll say this. I will agree that I even texted my son and told him, I said, never thought I'd say that this year, but they were missing Boswell on the floor early in that game. Now, I will say this: when it got to 32-30, something happened and that defense kicked in. That 3-point defense. I'm going to disagree with Nega Dave.
Yep.
Their misses at the last 6-7 minutes of that first half were due to our defense. They did not get a clean look at the 3-point line the rest of the first half. After that score was 32-30, and that's why they went on the run they did. I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden it was just like a light switch went off for about a 5-6 minute span, and they really clamped down on the 3-point line.
When a team doesn't score for 7 minutes, I think you do have to do something right defensively.
Oh, no doubt, Bri. Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it's just all the other team can't throw in the ocean.
But Dave has both Daves have a really good point. When you watch the first 12 minutes of that game and you watch a Rick Barnes basketball team come out and play like that, you know something ain't right, because that's just not who they are and who he is. So
yeah, you're right. He's gonna have a lot to hammer on, and I think this is one of those situations where I think it's. I've been saying it that I thought the fact that they were playing these hoopty teams early was going to be good for them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure. I'm not so sure right now. They may need a quality team to play sooner rather than later because they need to wake up a little bit. I think they need to take something serious for 40 minutes because I think if this team plays serious for 40 minutes, they're one of the best teams in the country. Now, can you get them to play that? I don't know. But what I see is when they are locked in on both sides of the ball, I think they're elite. I just don't. He just hasn't gotten it out of them consistently yet, and I think that goes back to what do we have now? We don't have programs. We have teams, and you've got a really good coach on the sideline that I think can turn a collection of individuals that change from year to year into a good team.
Yeah.
But I'll say it again, it's going to be mid-January before we see what this team can be. And Barnes he's going to have to whip them in shape. He's going to have to really coach well to do that. But we all know he can. So that doesn't worry me at all. I mean, I look at this team and go, you've got elite players at every level on the offensive end.
I totally agree.
You've got an elite post player at Estrella.
Totally
You've got
agree.
an elite wing player in Ament, and you've got I think an elite guard play with Gillespie, at least on the offensive end.
Mm-hmm.
They're right. They've got to start fighting through screens on the defensive side of the ball. But once again, what can Barnes teach well? The defensive side of the ball. So if you've got a team out there that can score and is a little deficient on the defensive end, we got the perfect coach on the sideline that can fix that in the next 6 to 8 weeks.
Generally, Barnes is going to bench guys that don't play defense when he watches the tape. Dave, there will be so many guys tonight that will belong on the bench. I mean, really, that was that. Nega Dave obviously overreacts to everything, and that's okay. That's his nature. But he does make a really good point. And you guys make a great point about this Bishop Boswell guy, who they tried to go around and go around and go around, and it might be that they're going to have to play him for his defense because perimeter-wise, that was really unacceptable tonight, what they were letting that team do in the first half. That's never going to work.
I will say this.
Yeah.
I thought Abrams got really good defensively. I mean, he was a ball hawk in that backcourt tonight. And I thought he played some really good defense in the second half.
He had 3 steals.
I thought Abrams really stepped up, and maybe that may be your first guy off the bench guard-wise going forward because I thought he already looks like 1,000% better than he did two games ago. That guy's getting his legs under him, and I think that guy's starting to get it a little bit on the defensive end. What do y'all think about him? I thought he played really well tonight overall.
I'll be interested to poke around because I know they think that he has ability. That's why he's here. I'll be interested to poke around and see what their opinion is of him heading into that Rice game.
Yeah, I saw a lot of improvement out of him as compared, whereas some other guys I didn't. Akpar seemed to be a little absent tonight.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of funny. We don't run a lot of stuff for post. Estrella does really well within the offense, but nobody else. We don't seem to run anything else in the offensively for a post player. I don't think he has a choice. He knows he's got too much talent, Estrella, not to do it. But it just doesn't seem to be our forte is to run that stuff down through the post. So a lot of those big men kind of come and go. Big men kind of come and go a little bit. Estrella's going to obviously be your guy. And he only played like 18, 20 minutes tonight. So, I mean, you're talking about a wealth of talent down low. And I would like to see us run a little bit more for those guys. Cade Phillips, I thought, played pretty well at times tonight too. So your big guys are doing really well. I think just the turnovers in the defense is sloppy. It's just not playing together, sloppy, and I think once again I feel good about the guy on the sideline that can fix that. So appreciate it, guys.
14 turnovers tonight again in a game like that, man. I mean, come on.
Well, the next opponent, Rice, they are 1-2. They play East Texas A&M on Friday night. They have a loss to Oregon by 4 a loss to Stephen F. Austin, and their win was against Biblical Studies.
Who?
They beat Biblical Studies for their only win.
Did come on, man.
Where was Dead Sea Scrolls not available?
I mean, Rice is, at the end of the day, as the Vols are stacking these quad 4 wins now, Rice is number 204 in the net.
The bowl of rice I eat tomorrow will be tougher
Well,
than the Rice Owls on the court
there you go.
on
And
Monday
then
night.
Tennessee State, Brian, then finally we get to a real basketball game, but it happens in lost
I
wages.
don't know how good Rutgers is. They weren't very good last year with 2 first-round picks.
Yeah,
so.
they're 77, so they'll be a little more like it. And then we go up in class in Houston, and then from there, it depends on how you do in those 2 games.
Who is
as
their
to who else you
possible
see
third
out there.
opponent? Do you know?
The who?
Who is their possible third opponent?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't have
I'll
that
have to
in
look
front
into
of me.
that.
Yeah.
Let's go to our next call. I've got it written down somewhere.
You're getting it done, Bri.
It's Will.
You're getting it done tonight.
Let's break from Dave's and get a Will in here.
You're getting it done, Bri.
Yeah, here we go. Will, welcome
Hey, guys. A real pleasure to follow the Daves. I can't help but be encouraged after listening to Nega Dave. He's seen a couple games, and he's moved our SEC win total up from 5 to about 9, so hopefully we can keep climbing. I mean, after the first game, he had us at 5 wins. We're going 500, boys.
How about that? Is this guy a peach or what, man? I will give this to Nega Dave, because one thing I don't do is shower people with nonsense. That was pretty unwatchable in the first 12 minutes for Rick Barnes basketball, wasn't it?
It was a little tough. There's definitely some defensive improvements to be made.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't actually. What is wrong with Boswell? You must have covered it.
He's got
right
a lower.
at the
He's got
beginning.
like a lower extremity type injury.
He's day-to-day.
Yeah, it's not terrible. It's just he was gimpy, and they just decided to for him not to go. Because also coming in, and Dave's picking on our freshman, but Ament had something similar to that as well, but he played. So not a big concern.
I guess looking at it, the way I'm kind of taking it is, we've won a lot of basketball games over the last 4 years with a great perimeter defender who couldn't really contribute at all offensively. And I don't want to bash on Meshack, great Vol, but we found a way with the coach to work around that in the past. And I don't know that he'll be the defender Meshack was. It'd be hard to imagine he is, but I'm not super worried about playing 4-on-5 offensively. We've been doing it for quite a while.
I mean, that is a pretty good line. That's something I hadn't considered. Brian, what do you think? I think that's a great point, man.
They still go, but they can still have these scoring droughts where it always feels like they might be playing 4-on-5, even when they don't. They shouldn't be.
Well,
they're always prone to one of those kind of droughts.
To your point, though,
against good teams.
When you've got Estrella on the floor, you've got that super freshman on the floor, you've got this Gillespie kid on the floor, and then whatever else they can mix and match inside or at the other wing, there's a lot of options out there. Lots of options.
There's a lot of options to find a replacement level big man, going in the portal. I don't know that, it's early. His health's got to hold up, but I do believe that with Estrella, we've got far more than a replacement level big man on both sides of the ball. He's a good rim protector. He's certainly got the offensive game. It doesn't matter if we're playing 262 or not. You can see the feet and the hands and the skills around the basket. I think he's going to be something we haven't really had is a true tall big man who can really get the ball on the block, make a move, and put it in the basket. I think that's going to be an interesting wrinkle to what we've kind of been used to seeing, especially as Barnes kind of opened up the offense ever since, probably 2022, 2023, where we've really been jacking 3 balls. I think we're going to be able to work inside out some, and it's going to be a fun watch. Despite what, the early woes might be, it's going to be a team that grows into itself.
I think that's right.
With a new identity.
Yeah, it's going to be a work in progress getting there. We're all going to have to be patient. It's going to be like the other day was a couple steps forward. Tonight felt like a couple steps back. That's okay. It's part of the process here. and knowing and understanding your assignments on the floor defensively, because obviously tonight they just don't. They let that team have way too many very good looks at the basket. And then they were letting the team get second chance points, which was just kind of maddening in the middle of that spree. But you've got a great point, man. You've brought up several excellent points. And, Dave is way overreacting. But that's okay. You can watch tonight and overreact a little bit because we're not used to seeing Rick Barnes teams look like that. But this truly is 9 new basketball players. Brian, is that the most he's ever had in 1 year? 9 guys?
Yeah, there's 3 guys back from last year that played much. That's the front court of Akpara and the 2, Cade Phillips and Estrella.
Yeah, and really they were not expecting Estrella to be this far
4
along.
if you count Boswell.
But here's the thing about Estrella, and I want everybody to know this, because I was talking about this last year before the year got underway. He was incredible in camp, and then he got hurt. Their belief for him is that he has high-level professional ability, but will his body cooperate? Because you can see it, man. You said it tonight. He just has the physical skills. He's angular, the way he lets the ball go. He looks athletic out there. His footwork is excellent. He's a guy that's been beat up too. He's not what he was physically even a year ago. I mean, he's lost a little bit, and he's still a terrific athlete out there.
No question. And a couple more quick points, I'll hop off. But, over the past few years, with Estrella last year, we lost a lot of front court depth. We didn't have a suitable replacement there for his offensive game.
Yep.
Now we've kind of got too much front court depth. And I know it's popular right now to say Carey can't play, but as we all know what's going to happen when SEC play starts, it's going to get rough inside. It's going to be a foul fest.
That's right.
It's going to be physical. And I'm reserving judgment on Carey until I see what happens in a game where you got to muck it up, throw elbows, and get those tough balls and putbacks. I was there when he torched us last year doing that thing, and he can do it against good level competition. He's finding himself right now in a new system. He definitely looks lost, but especially if we have to take a couple games because the guy's out, 3 weeks with a rolled ankle, we've got options. We've got depth. We don't want to lose Estrella. There's no replacing him on this roster. But you're going to have options for any type of game that the big man dictates.
You've got a bunch of fouls to use too.
And the last thing I'll say, I guess I'm not cut from the Dave cloth. I wouldn't have the nerves to say it on air, but I'll admit it. 2 years after the fact, I remember walking out of Thompson Bowling 2023 early season, watching DK turn the ball over a bunch, try to split double teams, dribble it off his foot, get ripped. And I thought, that guy's not going to hold up in SEC play. Well, that was about the worst take I've ever had in my life. The guy came alive, and Emmett is not going to be DK. He's not going to develop into that level player in 1 year. But let the guy come along, get his shots up now, find his rhythm, and he's going to be a guy in February and March when we need him that's going to have put a lot of tools in his tool belt, and he's going to be able to win us some games down the stretch in a way that I think Barnes has learned through some of these other one and done guys. You got to let him play through it and let him grow into it, because there's not another guy on the roster who's going to be able to carry a team in March like he has clear ability to do. So I'm holding judgment on Carey. We'll see, but I'm pretty sure that Emmett is going to turn into a guy we can count on to get us some wins. Maybe he'll be the guy that gets us to Dave's 5 wins to 9, and maybe after we beat up on Rice, Dave will have us up around 14 wins in the conference. I'll hang up and listen. Y'all take care.
Well, Brian, the thing about Emmett is that what he is right now, what he's going to be in 4 months, are 2 completely different players. That's why he's here. He's here to develop. And And he's the type of guy, and Maury Hanks says this, and he's right, our NBA scout buddy that we have on the show some. If you want to advance far in March, you got to have pros. And you got a pro on your team. There's nothing that this guy's done through the first 3 games and 2 exhibitions that leads me to believe that this kid is not going to be one of the top picks in the NBA draft. There's nothing. I see nothing out of him to suggest that he's not that player.
Yeah, he's got a chance to lead the team in scoring and maybe even rebounding on any given night, and assist, man, any given night.
I mean, of the top 5 players in the league coming into play tonight,
he could be a walking triple-double.
Coming into play tonight, from the top 5 guys, he was number 2 in scoring of a great freshman class. And I heard Jay Billis last night in the Kentucky game say that this particular class is as good of a class as he's ever seen, in his time around basketball. That's pretty strong. And Jay Billis does not say things like that just for sport.
That Louisville game Tennessee plays is going to be dynamite, given what they looked like last night.
Bri, for those that didn't witness it, what did you think of that last night?
Well, they made Kentucky look like they played no defense at all. I don't think Kentucky's that bad defensively, but I mean, I don't think that's a strong point either, but Louisville looks awfully good with their backcourt. Awfully, awfully good.
They were really impressive. And, Kentucky could have gotten blown out in that game last night. But
they were getting blown out.
But they sort of hung around. Kentucky looks to me like, as I wrote in the blog today, they're going to be pretty damn good too. So snap judgments this time of the year aren't going to work. But
take our second break, Tone.
Let's do it.
And we'll be back.
Get you back momentarily to Garza Law. Tennessee basketball overtime presented by Marcos Garza, your Garza Law firm, online at garzalaw.com. Whether it's DUI, defense, criminal defense, or personal injury, or maybe Social Security disability, Garza Law has you covered, as they've got tremendous folks that are a part of this community. They live, work, and worship right here. And you want to trust Marcos Garza and the Garza Law Firm. Online 24/7 and available for you at garzalaw.com. And Living Vol fan, make Alumni Hall your one-stop shop for all the Vol fans on your shopping list this season. Nothing better than getting your favorite Tennessee gear under the tree. Maybe a nice polo shirt, maybe a new hoodie, something for the man cave. Check out Alumni Hall, the best selection of Tennessee gear. 3 Knoxville locations, 1 in Bristol, 1 in Johnson City, 1 in Murfreesboro. And anytime at alumnihall.com. Have yourself a big orange ho-ho holiday and enjoy the season from Alumni Hall, the ultimate volunteer shopping experience. And how about a shout out to our friends at Calhoun's, the taste of Tennessee. Of course, you know about our Friday tradition there during football season, but Calhoun's makes it a tradition all year round. And remember, their family packs at the holiday time of the year, they've got you covered at Calhoun's, and boy do they. Go over to tclub.team, check out the link, or head over to their website and see what they have to offer. But absolutely incredible. Calhoun's, there's one near you. And remember, whenever you're hosting during the holidays, Calhoun's, a party platter, always a great way to go. They are going to take wonderful care of you at Calhoun's. And shout out to our friends at TLD Logistics. So much more than a trucking company. TLD Logistics does everything. Whatever your challenges are relating to shipping, call TLD. They're going to figure it out from there. They're online at tldlogistics.com. And shout out to our friends at Connexial, Knoxville's own transportation logistics tech company. Proud sponsor of the My20 Drive of the Game right here on our Garza Law Tennessee basketball overtime. Connexial, revolutionizing your trucking industry nationwide right from their downtown Knoxville headquarters. We're going to have safer roads, improve the safety scores of your fleet, make drivers happy, maximize your profitability. KONEXIAL.com. And now, without further ado, let's get back to the busy show here on Garza Law, Tennessee basketball overtime.
Let's do that. Our second break is in the books. Our third segment, basketball OT. Tennessee beats North Florida 99-66. Points per possession tonight. The Vols hold North Florida to .917, and Tennessee has 1.35 on their end, points per possession. So that's pretty good. And they held North Florida to under 1 per possession, so that works. Another score of interest. 8 minutes to go in the game. Houston, number 1 Houston, who the Vols will play in Vegas, leads Oakland 64-31 with 8:11 to go in the game. So Rick Barnes can say if he didn't like Tennessee's defense, he should show them tape of that game and say, this is how you play defense. Oh, by the way, this is the team you're going to face in a couple weeks. That ought to get their attention. Let's go back to our busy phone lines. We have a full bank here. Let's get Zach in E-Town. Zach, welcome in.
Brian?
Hello, sir.
Brian, what is up? Hey, listen, I want to get in on this taking Dave up on his bet.
Everybody wants a steak from Dave now.
I want to make a bet with Dave that we're going to make it to at least the Elite Eight this year, and if we don't, I will take Dave's entire family to the O'Charlie's on the Strip and buy them whatever they want. His entire family to the O'Charlie's on the Strip.
Now, I don't think there's any O'Charlie's on the Strip anymore, is there?
Oh, well,
or am I mistaken? You probably have to settle for some apartment complex cafeteria instead, because that's what all they've got.
Hey, I was wondering, tonight's game was kind of interesting, kind of not. I was wondering if you watched Cam Carr the other night
for Baylor.
For Baylor,
yeah, 40. What do you have? 28 points.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking for. Do you think he would fit in? I mean, I know obviously he doesn't have the wherewithal to stay, but would you like to see him on this team?
Well, if you get that version of Cam Carr, I don't know what that would have done for a player like Gillespie. I think the question is, Gillespie and Cam Carr are going to be compared going forward, and I guess Gillespie comes into the season as a proven player, whereas Cam Carr hadn't really proven himself yet and had the chance to prove himself to that degree at that point. So you're giving up a little bit less experience for more experience.
Yeah. It was interesting to watch, I will say. I wanted to piggyback off, I think, what Will said, which is, we saw what Jalen Carey, he whooped our ass when we played at Vandy, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't have any worries about him.
And he's playing in a loaded front court depth. I mean, he's another piece right now. He hasn't really distinguished himself yet. But that may be difficult.
I like what I'm seeing. I thought it was good to see Henderson, who I don't know if y'all like him or not. I kind of like when he comes into the game. I think he might be a little bit better on defense than some of the others. But, yeah, this is weird. This is like after the first game of the year, or maybe it was after the scrimmage, I called and said that this was a inverse Rick Barnes team. It's all front, we have a big front court, not much in the. I mean, you know what I mean. We got a log jam in the front court, and then this team doesn't play defense as well as of yet. Normally, a Barnes team is, lockdown defense, and it's like backcourt focus. So it's interesting to see how this will develop through the year. And I guess we won't know until probably that second game in that Las Vegas tournament. If Rice, or is it Rice or Rutgers?
They'll play Rutgers first, and then Rice is a bye game. They play them next Monday night here, and then they'll play Rutgers first in Vegas, followed by Houston, and then somebody else third. To be determined.
It's an interesting way to start a season.
Yeah. You've got all your bye games in a row, and then you've got all these tough games in a row, which usually you mix that in a little bit. You mix them around and you stir them up, but not this year.
So you like to see Nate Ament go into the rack more? I mean, he's got a nice little he is unselfish, but I do want him to. I need these guys to get to the rack more and draw more fouls. But other than that, I'm not too happy. Dave, I will take you and your entire family to O'Charlie's on the Strip. Buy you whatever you want.
Well,
Go Vols.
That sounds good to me, and everyone wants in on Dave's bet here. I guess even Rusty, I think, wants in on that bet. Right, Rusty?
I'll pass. It won't be worth it. That's taking candy from a baby. It's not fair, is it? Hey, we were doing a little watch along last night with that Kentucky Louisville game, and old Matt in Dallas, who is fantastic, by the way, was talking about that Louisville team, and he said when they come to Knoxville, it's just going to be a total crazy inverse because they're like number 2 or 3 in the country in offense and number 38 in defense, and we were number 2 in defense and about 38 in offense. So that will be a weird one when they come to Knoxville.
Well, that's going to be a fantastic game. I think that's the game that I think I'm looking more forward to than maybe the Houston game.
Yeah,
in a strange way.
Well, it's in TBA. It's not on some neutral court in Las Vegas where it's not, the atmosphere is not going to be great. So it should be a blast.
Yeah,
it'll even be more fun than the Illinois game in Nashville, which again,
and they're close.
Court that, even though there'll be a ton of orange and a ton of Tennessee orange in Nashville, but this team's better offensively than last year's team.
I
don't think it's
definitely so.
Really
yes,
close. You got an elite post player. You got an elite wing. This is offensively, I'm talking, and an elite offensive point guard. Now, will they defend as good as last year? That's too far to tell. But you got 3 guys that are high level offensive players that last year's team just didn't have. No offense to ZZ or Akpara. And Chaz was just a 3-point shooter and an elite one, but not an all-around elite player on the offensive end. Ziegler was, let's just be honest, I mean, he was really bad shooting the basketball last year. The last 2 years, he was really bad shooting the basketball. And Akpara was a lob catcher last year.
You think ZZ was worse after his injury, his junior year?
I don't know. I mean, the injury was, game 25 of his sophomore year?
Yeah, at the very end of the year.
He never shot the basketball as well as he did his freshman year when he was playing with Chandler and was the off guard. That was – I just felt like his shot progressively got worse the longer he was on campus. I mean, the 0 of 10 night against Kentucky and Knoxville last year, and that wasn't really that far off from the way he shot the ball most of last year. And this year we just have guys that, I mean, it's night and day with Gillespie. Now, is Gillespie the pest that Ziegler was defensively? Heck, no. But that's okay. I think it was William that brought up Boswell. And Boswell's limited offensively, but currently he's a better shooter than Meshack was. His shot's more natural, and he's worked on it a ton. Just sophomore Meshack versus Boswell as a sophomore shooting the basketball, it's not even close. Now, he's not the defender Meshack was either. He's a good defender, not an elite defender, but, I mean, I think Boswell is just fine on this team when you're putting him on the court with 3 really good offensive players, and all he needs to do is be functional, catching a wide-open shot and taking it.
Yeah, it's funny thing is Gillespie and Carr are going to be compared quite a bit this year, whether that's fair or not. And I guess even to some degree, a combination of Gillespie and Boswell will be compared to Cam Carr. And would they be better off with what would they be better off with? And we'll have to see. And of course, Baylor probably promised him more playing time even if he comes back. It's just you give up experience or somebody who's proven or someone who offense for defense.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think Carr scored like 33 the other night, but he gave up 42.
Yeah, and
I mean that's not going to work under Barnes. I mean, Gillespie may give up 15 some nights, but he's going to at least try on defense.
Yeah, right. So,
yeah, I don't know. But again, getting concerned over what we're seeing when we're playing 11 guys, maybe 12.
13. I think it would have been 13 if Boswell had played. So
say that again. Sorry.
It's been 13 total with Boswell plays.
Yeah. I mean, that's you guys have said it. Carey is fifth off the bench in the big man rotation right now, and it's not really close. He's not close to the guy who's fourth. And I think Henderson is going to lose minutes. Bird can't come out and jump in the air with no idea where he's going to the basketball twice in the first 10 minutes. He got yanked for it immediately on the first possession, and then he come back in and did it again. He can't do that and get much playing time for Barnes. But I'm sure he's going to learn from it, and it'll get cleaned up. But yeah, drawing conclusions when you're playing these type of teams and you're just throwing out random groupings and you're not running sets, that's so silly. And Ackworth was right. They didn't get another offensive rebound after they got to 30 points, and they had like 12 of them. Barnes got them to the bench, and then it was our defense, and we kept them off the glass, and that's why it was a 17-0 run going into the half.
Yeah.
I mean,
you have to do something right. I mean, they rebounded well. They didn't give up the second half. I think a lot of what the defensive problems probably had more to do with the fact they gave up a lot of offensive rebounds. I mean, second chance.
It was, yeah.
I think in the first half.
They had like 14 second chance points. When they had 30, they had 14 of them were second chance.
Yeah, they had 13 total for the game. So
yeah,
that was part of it.
Tony and I talked about a mint and what you could have done tonight. Playing that team that like all their guys were like 6'5" or 6'6", and probably a couple around 6 foot, but they didn't have anybody really post players. Tonight would have been a night that you could have toyed with the lineup a little bit and had a mint play 4, so you could have went smaller on the perimeter because we were switching 1 through 5, and you were getting Akpara guarding the point guard or JP guarding the 2, and that was kind of a lot of what was chaotic about it. And that's why drawing conclusions in these type of games about how the defense is or any of that type of stuff is futile. You're not going to play teams that are a bunch of 6'5" guys when it really matters. You're going to actually have legitimate matchups where you're not just switching everything and you're actually trying to get over screens. It's silly, and I appreciate you guys having the show, but drawing conclusions is we're playing YMCA basketball for the first
28 more games to play, so there's going to be games where you can. They're all not going to look the same at all.
Of course.
So
it's really YMCA basketball. Getting some cardio in.
Yeah.
Working on your shot. Boxing out. Things like that. But working on sets is pointless right now. Anyway,
Rusty,
I kept you guys too long.
I'll talk to you later. As Rusty jumps off, we're going to take one final break. I'm going to come back and get Kyle, and then if you on hold, I'm going to get you two. So we're going to get you two after this break and wrap it up for this edition. We'll be back on the other side.
We'll get you back to Garza Law, Tennessee basketball overtime momentarily. Want to remind you that Garza Law, they are, ladies and gentlemen, the presenting sponsor of this here activity. They're online at garzalaw.com, your go-to law firm. When it comes to DUI defense or criminal defense, personal injury, Social Security disability, you don't want to trust yourself, your family, your situation to just anyone. Trust it to people that are live and local, boots on the ground. They work, worship, play, shop with us right here in East Tennessee. Also, special shout out to our friends at VIP Play. You can go claim your VIP Play welcome bonus. You make a bet of $20, you get $100 in bonus bets. The promo code, the phrase that pays is TN Again, TN Tony. And remember, 200 leagues live always, whether it's NFL, NBA, NHL, college hoops. college football, what have you, MLB, they've got you covered over at VIP Play. All the props, all the options, all the numerous bet types, anything that you want or need, VIP Play has you covered. Special shout out to our friends over, ladies and gentlemen, say it, know it, and write it down at WeShipFloors.com. Based out of Johnson City, We Ship Floors, home of your Tennessee Hardwood Report. And boy, do they have some great hardwood. 120 super core floors to choose from. You can drop them virtually into your room anywhere around the world, and they will ship to you anywhere for free at WeShipFloors.com. They are Tennesseans. They are proud volunteers. Alan is a huge Vol fan. You see him at all the games. He's got a son at Tennessee. They're the real deal Holyfield. Millions of square feet in stock. Say it, know it, and write it down. WeShipFloors.com. And a special shout out to our friends over at Dos Equis. Cervezas Mexicanas. Look, you and I both know it is time, ladies and gentlemen, for you to go for Dos Equis. With basketball season here, Tennessee fans know what it's all about. They know about their iconic traditions. They know about filling Thompson Bowling Arena. They know about going far in March. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, go for Dos 2025 Cervezas Mexicanas. And a special shout out to my friends at Performance Medicine. Performing my best at Performance Medicine. More information online at performancemedicine.net. They fuel us here in the Rainier studio. Check out their YouTube channel, Performance Medicine. A special shout out to Dr. Rogers and the entire Rogers clan. And you know who insures the Rainier studio? Josh Collins. And the Collins Insurance Agency. That's right. Home of Erie Insurance. Josh Collins and your Collins Insurance Agency. You can get insurance from just about anyone, right? But where are you going to get the Collins Insurance difference? You're going to get it from Josh Collins and the Collins Insurance Agency. And ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's get back and wrap up today's edition of Garza Law Tennessee Basketball Overtime.
Brian, in with you on Garza Law Firm Basketball Overtime. Tennessee beats North Florida 99-66 to improve to 3-0 on the year. The Vols had 3 double-figure scores. J.P. Estrella, 23 points, 11 of 14 from the floor. He also had 10 rebounds. He led the team in rebounds and points. Walking double-double. Ja'Kai Gillespie, 21 points, 6 of 13 from the floor. He had 7 assists. He led the team in assists. And Nate Ament, 19 points, 6 of 16 from the floor. 6 and 9 from the free throw line, 19 for Ament. Also with 9, Cade Phillips and Amari Abram were both a point short of 9 points. Tennessee shoots 52% from the floor, 8 of 27 from 3, 70% from the free throw line. They out-rebound North Florida 52-24. They had 26 total assists with 14 turnovers total. We're going to get our last 2 callers, Kyle and then Philly. Philly, I'm going to come to you, but Kyle, I'm going to go to Kyle here. Kyle, welcome in.
Hey guys, how are y'all doing this evening? I know I'm bringing up the rear here tonight, but I've been listening to pretty much the whole show, and Dave had some good takes. I know everybody rags on him, but he did have some good takes, because the one thing I've seen the first 3 games, and I know it's really fixable, but there are really some bad habits with this basketball team at this time. Do you agree with that? There's a lot of bad habits with this basketball team at the moment. With just turnovers and there's
too many turnovers,
defensive lapses.
Yeah,
all of it's fixable, but right now there's a lot of bad habits that have to be overcome, because you and I both know, and you've mentioned it already while I've been on hold. In 2 weeks, that's a different animal. In 2 weeks,
and
that's a whole different animal in 2 weeks.
You can have them.
We've got to tighten a lot of stuff up, Brian. A lot of stuff.
You can have those kind of lapses now, and this is when to have them and try to work those things out. You've got pretty much 5 practice games, and then the real season's going to begin. And it is unusual to me to have all these games in a row like that, and then you don't really mix them in. They've had sort of more of a mix and stirring them up a little bit, but now you've got all 5 bye games and then 5 real games.
It is odd. It's usually you got two, and then you got one big
Yeah.
one, and you go back to a couple more, and then you got that. There's been some December slates like this where you got like 3 or 4 in a row on the Christmas break where you get some gimmies, and then it's SEC season, and then they showed the graphic tonight of right after what TSU, it's like 4 or 5 in a row that are just it's gauntlet.
Yeah,
It's going to be we get right into it, which. I think the 5 games are good, but there's just it just kind of shows you that it might have been best that we didn't jump right into Houston game 3 or 2, that we
right,
kind
yeah,
of fix some things. But there's a lot to like. There's a lot of depth. The post depth is something. It's the post depth is really impressive. They're coming in a lot of waves. When Jalen carries your 5th dude, that tells you got depth. I want to see him come on because I know in all our back of our minds we think about the 2 Vanderbilt games last year. And I went back while we were watching because, what in the first half, he didn't get off the bench till the 5-minute mark of the half. It was really, really late before Kerry got in the game. But I went back and looked at his stats like at halftime, and he had double figures in probably 9 or 10 SEC games last year against Kentucky and Texas and us and Florida. So he can play. He just looks like he's kind of like
trying to get his
lost.
feel, trying to feel his way in. He doesn't have a feel yet.
He doesn't have the feel, but you can tell, like, man, when he gets it in the post, he's gonna score because you ain't gonna move him, And he's got great touch. He comes from a great background. It doesn't look like he's. I don't want to say he's not bought in. It just looks like he's kind of swimming a little bit with what he needs to do and what he's supposed to do in the effort. There's a lot of it.
Well,
but,
Kyle,
that's all I was calling about. It's just, it's a little bit of bad habits here and there, but it's nothing that can't be fixed. But
right.
We're going to have to really find that 2 guard in 2 weeks to give us those minutes, and it might have to be a freshman. So we'll just see how it goes. But I appreciate y'all taking the time to get my call.
Thank you,
y'all
Kyle.
Have a good night.
You too. And we're going to go to one final call, and he'll wrap it up. And it's a good one to wrap it up with as Philadelphia, the mayor, joins. Philly,
What do
welcome
you say,
in.
Brian?
Hi, what do you say, Philly?
Everybody wants to rip Nigga Dave, but he was spot on a lot of what was Gillespie's stat line? How many turnovers did he have tonight?
He had 5 turnovers, 7 assists, and a plus-minus of 35. Plus 35.
Well, that's way too many turnovers. If he's your alleged point guard, then, if he's going to average 5 turnovers a night, it ain't going to be any good. Especially if you play Houston, people like that, they're going to take the ball away from him.
Well, they got tape on him, and if North Florida can, that Houston's is going to be licking their chops.
Our inside game's good, but won't they put Estrella and Akapara in there at the same time?
Does Estrella kind of reminds you of Charlie Huff, or the Huff kid from Florida? What is it? How? H-A-U-G-H? You know what I'm talking about, right? Does he not remind you of him a little bit?
All honesty, we don't even have a shooting guard. We're hurting the guard play. We got a guy shoots a lot of shots, but he's probably going to average about 20% from the 3-point line this year.
Well, and he sort of right now is not a very high volume shooter. He took 16 shots to get his 19 points, and he made 6 free throws. So do with that what you will, but it is against North Florida, and sometimes I think he can be a little bit too unselfish. Sometimes he does pass up on good shots and turns it over, which is not good.
Well, we got Houston coming up, and then you look at Alabama. You think we're ready for that?
Well, I don't know if anybody's ready for Houston right now, Phil, but they'll have to get ready, and they've got a few weeks. They've got a couple weeks left to do it because that's coming up quickly, and they've got a couple more. I guess 3 more games. I don't know how good Rutgers and Syracuse and those teams are, but I know Houston's for real. And Louisville, they're for real.
Yeah, Houston's good. Illinois is good.
Yeah.
We got to play Louisville. We got them here.
Yeah,
But
Louisville.
that point guard Louisville's got is probably the best point guard in the country, and you see us Gillespie guarding him.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm glad they went to Louisville last year and got them when they were down, sort of.
They may do turnabout fair play on us. They may come here and wax us about 20,
Well, that is going to be a real fantastic matchup. I can't wait to see it. I just thought of that last night watching Louisville. I was thinking watching that game, well, Kentucky looks like defensively they're a sieve, but then I thought, oh God, we got to play that Louisville team, and then all of a sudden I wasn't too as upbeat thinking about that one.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they can get it figured out. They do have 5 post players that can rotate, and but it's all going to come down to guard play. It always does.
Their post game right now reminds me of Florida from a year ago, is what I'm trying to say. I don't know if you see that, but I see a lot of the Huff kid in Estrella, in Estrella's game.
Well, Estrella's got natural skills. I mean, he's a natural scorer. In fact, you could say that he's the second best player on the team behind Amit.
He might be the best player on the team. I don't discount that notion.
We need to get in the weight room, though, so that Carey's the only one that's been in the weight room. Or you think he can get in and play football? I mean,
he'd be a good tight end.
Bill House, ain't he?
Yeah, he'd be a pretty good tight end. I think some of those backcourt players could be good safeties, too. Probably better than what we have.
Though, our defense that first 10 minutes of the game looked like Tim Banks was coaching it, didn't it? See you.
Well, Philly, I guess we're going to end on that note. But as Tennessee beats North Florida 99-66, the Vols are 3-0. We'll be back Monday night late. It's an 8:30 tip against Rice at Thompson Bowling Arena. That's Monday, November 17th. And tomorrow we'll be back from tomorrow and Friday, 11 to whenever. And then football, the post game will be football after the New Mexico State game on Saturday. That's a 4:15 kick. So you're looking at next Monday against Rice, probably around 10:30 to 11 o'clock when we get on. But we'll be there for that game and for every game. So this is Brian Hartman. For Tony, thank you. I'm going to sign off as the Vols beat North Florida 99-66, 3-0 to start, and that sure beats a lot of alternatives. So good night, everybody.